So today we'll see the file structure of Angular. So in last class we had we'd seen how to create a new project in Angular, right? So now we got this project which is in front of you. So this project is having all this file structure. So we'll explore about those today. So let's see, the first folder that is coming is node modules. So basically node modules is a and before that, before going there, so I'll just tell you guys that this is the path I'll be giving in the description, where you can see the real Angular documentation regarding all this folder structure. If you want to learn more, this is a very good thing, which good place where you can learn about these folder structures in a correct way. So okay, having said that, so we'll go for individuals. So let's go for this first thing, that is node modules. So node modules is a folder where we keep where we get all these dependencies stored. So dependencies, like if I'll open a sample page for you, like let's say this particular page, you can see, right, we are importing some Angular core. So this particular Angular core, where it is, where the dependency files and all this all this library of Angular core, where it is residing in your project. So when you will do npm install or npm update in your terminal, so this particular folder will be created. So and this particular folder will be created by referring the package.json. So this we'll discuss more about packetization later, but for now, please understand that it will refer this, and it will start downloading those libraries into node modules. So if you will see, you'll have one Angular folder. You can see Angular core. There's a one Angular core which I was showing here is Angular core, right? Inside Angular, there's a core folder. So that would definitely be staying here inside this. Okay. Similarly, all these libraries which are being used inside this project are being stored here. Okay. Then all the node modules which are like node.js dependencies would be stored there. Okay. So next thing is SRC. So SRC is basically the place where you will work most. This is where you are going to do all your stuff. You'll be creating your components, you'll be creating your services, you'll be creating your data structure like interfaces. Okay, so you'll be getting a routing, you'll be getting a modules. So everything which you are going to create is here. Okay, so uh, I've just created one simple component called test route. So you can see it is inside this app, inside this app folder. So basically app uh, is the module which is on top. So from this module we are going to start. Okay, so basically inside this app folder, let's and this will not be by default, it will not be created by you, by the CLI. It will be created by you, or whenever you will need something, like we needed one component, so we created it. So whenever you need something, you can create a component folder, or according to your choice, you may not name it as a component folder, you may name something else, right? And you can create a component there. So the commands are there that I'll slowly, when we'll have the component in detailed manner, we will see these commands. But when you are creating something, it's a service or component, so maintain a good folder structure so that it will be easier for you to understand, and for somebody new who is coming into your project, will find it easy to understand, right? So let's maintain a very good folder structure further. So here the first thing which you should discuss about is app routing module. So basically app routing module is nothing but a uh, so when you will see, I've just added this thing, so let's delete it. And when you will see something like this, right, basically by default you will be seeing something like this. Okay, so whenever you are let's say you are creating one website, and in that website you have certain pages like about us, contact us, you have some services, you're providing some particular pricing in that website, you are providing a form for feedback, so you are providing one form for data search, or some anything that you think like it should be a particular section, it should be a particular routing. So what will happen, like your website should be having something like slash, let's say, contact, okay, or slash pricing. So this is what routing is. So how will we establish this routing? So we should have this routing module. So if you are having this routing module, you can this is now pretty easy to do that. So how to do that is just include one path. I'll include one path called, we are doing a test routing, so I'll just include test, okay, or you can say route test, okay. I've just include this, and this particular path should go to which component. That component we need to add here. So before that, we need to import that particular component to our routing module. Okay, so let's say from, then I'll go back one step, see the component folder. Inside that, I'll see the test route. Inside that, I'll just pull the component. Okay, test route component. Now what I'll do is I'll just put the test route component here. So basically it is going to the test route component and it is pulling the TS file. Okay, export class TS. Okay, so now let's go back to this and I'll just say put my component when somebody route to this path. So once once you have added this routing, the next thing is you should mention that in your app component HTML, you should have this particular tag. If you are not having it, the router cannot load it. Okay, so you need to have this router outlet tag here. Okay, once you have it, let's say I'll just do route test. You can see test route works. So from where it is coming, the test outcome is coming from here. If I'll do anything changes, I am in, you can see it here. Okay, so it's pretty simple, and this is the very essential thing that you are going to have in every project, every complex project, small project, everywhere you will use it. So this is, we'll cover this concept in detailed manner, but for now this is the work of the routing. So next is app component.css. You can style it. So this is just a style sheet for your app component.html. Let's say we are going to use one particular this, and here what I'll do is I'll use something click me. Okay, so I'll just give a class name as style, and this style I'm going to create a style sheet for this. I'm going to make it red color, color red, font weight bold. Okay, so if you guys are finding CSS difficult, or you want to have CSS thing, so once we'll have a parallel session for CSS in our channel, and CSS will cover CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. So you can go there and understand the CSS concepts. Okay. So for now, I'm just using a very two simple CSS properties. One is color; it should be coloring it red, and it should be color this doing the font weight as bold. And I'm going to put something more: cursor, pointer, cursor, and so I'm just giving a feel like, let's say hyperlink, right? So let's make it blue. Hyperlinks are blue, right? So let's say this is the style we are putting. So you can see, right, it is done. So just to add something, one more thing to it is just like I'll add a hover. So let's say hover text decoration as, sorry, okay, text decoration is underline. Okay, so now when you hover on it, it will give a link effect. So this is pretty much this. Okay, so the HTML, as you know, we are going to add different HTMLs. Like in future you need a big page, right? So you'll have multiple divs, multiple spans inside, so that's HTML. And this app component unit test file, and here you are just testing these features, like whether your component is created or not, all those things, right? So this is for your this is for your testing, unit testing. and then app component.ts. This is the essential file which you are going to have. So here, let's say create, let's think of something like, so let's say you are, when you are clicking here, it should tell me that, hey, uh, I'll just pop up some message, right? So let's say message, I've created this function, and this function is, let's say it is not having anything, and it has this, and inside that I'll just alert something. I am in. Okay, so let us check this. Okay, so it is not working because we have not called it. So let's call this function inside the HTML. Okay, so here I'll just create, and this function event binding I'll explain later. Just for showing purpose, I am showing it, as we need to know the structure, right? I am in. And guys, don't be stressed out with this if you're not aware of this arrow functions and all. It's okay, it's all okay, right? So we can just do this. It's just a replacement for this. Okay, so there is nothing, no difference, right? It's pretty simple. So this is app component where you will do all your business logics and all your validations, pulling data, doing a CRUD operation from an API. All those things you will be doing in app.ts, and then you will be feeding the HTML, or you will be rendering data to the HTML, right? So this is for app.ts and app.module. So this is the place from where you are going to have all the whenever you are adding, like we have added this component, right? So it will be added here in the declaration, right? So you are importing some external libraries like material UI, or you are importing something bootstrap. So those things will be imported here, and your app component will be bootstrapped to the main.ts. This is the main.ts, and your app mod, from the app module you will be bootstrapping the uh, app component. Okay, so to start your main.ts is the starting point, so from where you will be starting an application, right? So similarly, we have other things like, so this is pretty much about app. Okay, so we'll see when we'll proceed with different things in Angular, so we'll be using it. So next is assets. So inside assets, you will have your images, you will have any static files, like you are creating a global application, you need to keep some language files. Those things you will be keeping, mostly the static files you will be keeping inside the assets. Then environments. So environment should be having like whenever you are working in a dev environment, right? This will be used, and when you are working in a prod environment, this will be used, right? So this is the switch will happen inside Angular.js file, but this is where you keep uh, your environment details, like some URLs, some API URLs, or something which you are going to use inside your Angular, your front end, right? You will be storing those data here. Okay, for there would be, for dev there would be different URL, for prod there would be different URLs, right? So that you are going to do. So favicon.ico, it is nothing but this image. You can see this Angular A, you can see that here as well. Okay, so then index.html. So this is the index.html, and the app root is nothing but the for app component.html. Uh, this one. Okay, so this is going to be your uh, one and only HTML page in which you will be, you will be rendering all your component HTMLs inside this, right? Then main.ts, as I said, it is going to bootstrap the first app module and bootstrap the app module's app component.ts, and it is going to show it to the user. Okay, then this is called polyfill. Polyfill is by default, you will get this polyfill there in your project. So but you can have multiple different polyfills attached to it. So basically it will have a zone.js file imported, which is required for Angular. So this this file would be having your imports like browser polyfill. Polyfill is like so in Angular it would be using the default polyfills. So if you have an extra polyfill, if you have a specific polyfill to be used for older browsers, so you can include this here. But Angular would be using this Zone.js for with Angular CLI. So this polyfills is nothing but it generally gives the modern features of an application to the older browsers. So basically, it feels I mean, it is like a helper to the older browsers to run your application, right? As simple as that. So this is pretty much required to run the modern language supporting front-end applications in your older browsers. Okay, as we are using ES6 format of JavaScript, right? So these things are needed, okay, for running in older browsers. Then style.css is something which you are going to put all your where you are going to put all your global style files, like if you are creating a variable where you are storing a color or anything, an image. If you have if a reusable CSS uh, style set you are going to use, you can use it here. Okay, then test.ts is a setting for scanning uh, your your components. So if you want a specific component to scan, you can put it here. Otherwise, this will be scanning all your components. It will be running all your spec.ts. So this when you will do a ng test. Okay, so this is required for that. Okay, so now this is all about src folder. Okay, so let's go for the browser list. Okay, so browser list is nothing but the list of browser here it is going to support. So here it, as you can see, you can also run a command like uh, npx browser list, browsers list. Okay, and okay, look what's on. Okay, so you can see the list of browsers which are supporting it. So if you want this IE11 to support, you can remove this not from here, and that would work. So this is the browser list. Okay, so editor config is something which is stored whenever you are opening this project in your IDE, right? So this particular rules will be followed, and this is helpful for the different IDs when you are using it. This will be helpful for it. So you can get more details in editor config as well as in Angular's Angular document about this. So basically, it is being uh, used by IDE to configure your project. And then git ignore. Git ignore is nothing but they ignoring when you are when you are checking in your code to GitLab or GitHub or where you are maintaining your code, right? So there it will ignore this particular place, right? So for it will be ignoring all this whichever you want to put it here. Like it will ignore dependencies. That means when you will check in your code, it will not check in the node modules. So whenever somebody new will come and download this project, they have to run npm install after downloading. Then this node modules will be created from the package.json. So this is how it works. Okay. So next is AngularJSON. So AngularJSON is basically containing information about your project. So where you can have your so what is the project name, then what is the source root, what is the prefix to it, then what is the when you're doing npm build, what all things are going to be there, and what is the styles, where you're keeping your style sheets. The most important thing is for the environments. You can see this configuration for different environments, right? So if you are creating one more environment, you have to add those environments here, right? If you are creating one more environment in development, right, you can add those environments set up here. So it's mostly all the information about your project. Okay, so next is Karma is a unit framework. So here you will get all the information regarding Karma. When you are running the unit test, you will be using Karma, then you will be using it. Package.log.json and package.json. So package.json is a very essential file. So this will be this is a question that is being asked in most of the interviews, right? So packagization is something which stores dev dependencies and prod dependencies, right? So when somebody new will come and take this project, right? So what will happen, like when you will run the npm install, it will refer to this packagization. So when you are maintaining, so when you are seeing this version, right, there are three parts. This is the major part, this is the minor part, and this is the patch. That means 12.0.5. So 12, so and tilt. So that means anything which is higher to this version, like which is higher to this patching, not these two values, which is higher to this patching. I mean 12.0.6 can be accepted. So when that kind of version is available, if that kind of version is available over internet, it will download that and put to inside your node modules. Okay, when you will run npm install or npm update. Okay, so if you can see, there will be one more symbol called caret, this one. So there is a tilde symbol, the caret symbol. So here in caret symbol, what will happen, like it will take the minor part also, like it will allow the 1.6 as well, right? So you can take higher version of you can see the latest version of this one is 1.7.0, right? So you can use something which is greater than 1.5. 1.7 can be used, but 2.7, 2.1 cannot be used. So minor, this minor part can be higher. Okay, so this is the work of packagization. So when you will install this packagization, right? I mean, referring to the packagization, when you install the node dependencies, so the exact version which are being used, okay, would be stored here. So you can see, right? So this node module that Babel dot this particular module, node module, right, is having 7.14.5. Okay, and the dependencies which can be used for this is can be greater than 7.14.5, can be 7.15, but the exact version for this particular one should be 7.14.5. I mean, this is being installed in your machine. 7.14.5 is being installed in your machine. Okay, and it is supporting. I mean, it requires some dependencies of Babel of types, which can be more than 7.14. Okay, it can be 7.15. Okay, this is what it is. So package lock.json is basically locking your dependencies with the exact version. So that this is the version that this project is using. Okay, so next is readme.md. This is all the commands that we're going to use is being mentioned here. You can follow this. If somebody new comes, they can follow this and understand what are being used. Okay, so next is ts config application. Before we go to this, we can open this one. So this is ts configuration, where we have all our uh, compilation options available. Okay, so having said that, like compilation options from TypeScript to JavaScript, all the compilation options are available here. Okay, so you can see something like strict, where it is checking a TypeScript, it is checking the initialization and all those values are there or not, if you are declaring correctly or not. So this is basically used for compiling your TypeScript to JavaScript. So for application, you can see extensions would be extends this ts config. For application, we are going to use these values. You are adding more to it, like main.ts is being for application. For spec, like for testing, you are taking the test.ts. So the entry point for the project is, for app it is main.ts, for test it is test.ts. Okay, that's what it is meant here. Okay, so this is pretty much about the folder structure. So basically we should work and check more into this packetization, package localization, angularization, and these files are really essential. Okay, and the inside src we have certain all these things, right? These are also very much important for to understand. So please refer the documentation of Angular for more details, and we can talk more about it if you have any doubts. Thank you.